Welcome back to another game of Warhammer Fantasy Battles with Shyhammer Fantasy. And today I got sick and tired of doing the adepticon list, so I decided to go ahead and do a big point game. 3,000 points, Orcs and Goblins versus Aaron's Undead Legion. He was down for it. He figured, what the hell, let's do a big game. We had a lot of time to kill. So let's get started with my army here. My army, this is, I want to say I took 30 Black Orcs. Inside that Black Orcs, the fourth guy over is Grimgore Ironhide. And that is actually one of the biggest and baddest orcs around. He's a beast in combat. And then we have over here, I have another lord on a wyvern. And this guy is, he has the armor of Gork and a great weapon. And he's about to kick some ass. We have Gatilla the Hunter and his unit of Dahaulas. And they get a ballistic skill +1, and then Gatilla has a magic bow, which is good against some undead ethereal units. And then right underneath them, you could see there's a unit of 20 night goblins with short bows. Here we have, I believe I took 17 cave squigs, giant cave squigs. And then over here, I know that this picture only has partially the unit, but that is a unit of 30 savage orcs. They also have on the corner there with the guy with the little helmet, little samurai goblin. That is my BSB with the spider banner. And then on the other corner, which you cannot see, is my level 4 orc shaman with the lucky shrunken head. The big guy, blue and orange, that is my mangler squig. And then again, there goes my short bows. Over here we have a unit of 30 night goblins with spears and fanatics, of course. Right here is my spear chukka, and I took out the special spear chukka with the vampire inside the coffin because we're going against vampires, or we're going against undead, really. Over here we have the rock lava, the flaming rock lava, with all the dwarf heads on the pole there. And then we have behind them the two doom divers. Here we go, it's a better picture of the doom divers. And then, of course, Lone Wolf, my one of my favorite chaff units here. He usually is sent out to kill war machines, but since I play undead a lot, he just kind of runs around and just annoys the other side. So let's get into the undead and see what they have. First of all, he pulls out not one, but two Terrorgeist, even though the other one's a zombie dragon. He's proxying it as a Terrorgeist. So he has double screams at me. And then he has, in this unit here, it's a unit of 25 or 30 Graveguard with the BSB in there. It's a White King BSB. There is a necromancer in there, as well as a man. There's another guy, like a hex. No, not a hex. Right. I just want to say it's like some sort of like specter dude, man. I don't know. It's the guy in the corner. He's ethereal though. Over here we have a block of 50 ghouls with the Strigoi Ghoul King, or 49 ghouls with the Strigoi Ghoul King in there. And then right behind them is a unit of zombies, and then a bus of skeletons. And in the skeleton block, there is Vlad von Karstein, as well as a necromancer and another wraith. In the zombies, there's actually a necromancer in that unit as well. So every unit has somebody who's going to do invocation, basically. There we go. Is a better picture of Vlad and the wraith. There's two wraiths in there. All right, and let's go over the magic. Orc magic, we have Foot of Gork, here we go, Brainbuster, and Gaze of Mork. And then for Undead Legions, he got the Dark Riders as well as the Harbinger. And then he also took the Grave Call instead of whatever other chumpy number he had. And then everybody else just basically has Invocation and a Hex, so he has like 5 spellcasters. So he wins the roll-off, and it's Undead Turn 1. Basically, he goes ahead and he moves everybody up just a little bit, you know, like whatever, the 8 inches around the general, or 12 inches around the general, but they get to move their 8 inches marching. And he really couldn't do much else besides move. I kind of put my orc boss on a wyvern, just slightly out of range of him flying in and screaming at it, so it really couldn't do anything about that. So he moves one of his wyverns, or one of his Terrorgeists close to my Doom Diver to scream at it. Magic phase, he got a very pathetic 4, which means I got 3 power dice, he gets 4. First thing he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and summon up the Dark Riders, and he pulls out a unit of Black Knights, 6 Black Knights. They got, I believe they actually have command and shields, barding, and all that. So he pops them up right in front of my unit of night goblins, which is coincidentally 8 inches up, and sure enough, the fanatics pop out. So I send the 3 fanatics straight at him. I sent one off to the middle of the field to just kind of block any further advancements from the other guys. And only one fanatic actually gets through, takes out 2 black knights. And then we're going to go into shooting phase. And like I said, that Terrorgeist, that son of a bitch, he just screamed, ah! And it took out my Doom Diver in one shot. Didn't get my shooting out from that. And then we're going to go ahead and start Orcs and Goblins turn 1. So Animosity hits Gatilla and the boys, and they basically squabble. They don't do anything. The Cave Squigs get also hit with Animosity, and they decide to attack the Night Goblins that are right next to them. Night Goblins kill off 2 of them, which I couldn't figure out if I was supposed to randomize it or if it was just 2 Squigs or 2 Herders. I don't know. Over here we have the War Boss charging into the side flank of the Terror guys who just killed my Doom Diver, and then we're going to go into compulsory moves. Not 1, but 2 doubles on my Fanatics. They kill each other. And then the 3rd Fanatic decides to, screw these guys, and he hits the Night Goblins, and he kills off like 5 of them, or 6 of them. 5. What a dick. Anyways, Savages move up with the Orc with the Great Shaman in it, and we're going to go into Magic phase. Magic, I got 9 dice, which is great. Wonderful. I'm going to try Foot of Gork. It goes off, and it gets a direct hit right onto that unit of Graveguard right in the beginning, and I kill off about like 7 or 8 Graveguard, and I actually do a wound onto one of his characters in the front row. I believe it was the Necromancer that took a wound. I go for a 4, 5, or 6, and it's going to go ahead and hit the foot again. So instead of actually hitting the Graveguard again, I decide to actually move over and hit the ghouls. It drifts a little bit, but gets 12 ghouls anyways, killed off them. And then I go for it one more time, and I fail. It gets a 3, which means he gets bored and he walks away. So we're going to go into close combat, and first of all, let's pop out that Armor of Gork. I got a 6 on the impact hits. With the impact hits right out the start, I do with Chappas and everything else. I pretty much destroyed the Terrorgeist in just the charge. 4 wounds on him, and not only that, but I'm going to go ahead and hit with the Wyvern next, and the Wyvern just kills him. I mean, it was just, yeah, he did nothing back against me. I took 1 wound. I'm sorry, I took 1 wound. So going to go to shooting phase. The Doom Diver is going to aim right in the middle of all that chaos over there, and he drifts right into the other Terrorgeist, because I hate those Terrorgeist. I think I do 1 wound on him. I'm going to go ahead and shoot the Rock Lava at him, but the Rock Lava, the Rock Lava got a direct hit, and I took down 4 wounds on that guy as well. I'm doing some damage on these Terrorgeist, screw them. And let's go into Undead Turn 2. Undead Turn 2, we're going to go ahead and start off with some charges. The Graveguard decide to charge into my Savages. My Ghouls decide to charge into, I want to say that was a unit of Night Goblins with short bows, but I'm going to stand and shoot. And of course his Graveguard actually connect. And then over here, since the Graveguard connected, they actually got right in range, just barely 8 inches to release the Fanatics off of the Night Goblins with bows. So I go ahead and I throw the Fanatics in the way of the Ghouls that are about to charge in. Actually, the Ghouls failed to charge though, and they stopped right there. The Black Knights charged into my Spear Chukka, and that was about it for movement. We're going to go to Magic, and again, he got another pathetic low number, 5. So first thing, he tried to do a couple things on this Magic phase, and I shut him down. I think they were just invocations though. So we're going to go to shooting phase next, and in the shooting phase right here, his Strigoi Ghoul King, which is in that unit of ghouls, just screams at one of my Fanatics and kills him outright. And then the remaining Terrorgeist screams at my Mangler and just kills him outright. Those screams are brutal. I just think that they're a little overpowered, but it is what it is. So we're going to go to close combat. The Graveguard, they lose off 3 skeletons, whereas the White King goes ahead and attacks, and he kills off 2 Savages, and then the rest of the unit attacks, and they kill off another 2 Savages. And then over here you could see with his charge and all the combat resolution, he got 9. He's the top bar, and I'm the bottom bar, and I got 8, so I lost by 1. So I go ahead and take a panic check, and my guys sit there, and they're going to stay. They're going to keep fighting. This isn't over by any means. My Spear Chucker took a spill, and he blew up after the Black Knights decided to destroy him. They wanted to free out their Vampire Lord that was stuck inside that coffin. And they took over the hill, and they're going to overrun. And we're going to go into Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. The Orc boss on the Wyvern, he's going to go ahead and charge the side flank of that giant unit of Graveguard. The Night Goblins with Spears going to go ahead and declare a charge on the Zombies. The Squigs are going to declare a charge onto the Terrorgeist. And over here the War Boss is successful. The Night Goblins are not successful, but the Squigs are successful. And I'm going to go ahead and turn Gatilla and the boys around, and they're going to go ahead and take care of this threat that's in our back flanks close to our War Machines. And they just got in range to just shoot at them, so that way there's no risk of me losing any Wolf Boys. And then this Fanatic decides to just run into a wall for some reason. So remaining moves, the Wolf Boy decides to just kind of hide over in this little pit over here, and he's going to wait for his turn to attack. For Magic Phase, I get a whopping 12 dice. That's the best right there. I mean, there's nothing better than 12 dice. And I'm going to go ahead and start it off with the Here We Go, because those guys are in close combat. We're going to use it, and I get an Irresistible Force miscast, which is great for the Savages because they're going to beat the crap out of those Graveguard right now. But at the same time, I rolled a 9 on the miscast chart, and I lose dice out of my power pool, which that really sucked. So we're going to go into shooting phase next. My Night Goblin archers are going to go ahead and pick off 3 ghouls. And then Gatilla and the boys are going to go ahead and try to shoot at these guys, but they only got 1, which that kind of sucked. We're going to go to the Rock Lava. The Rock Lava is aiming straight for the Strigoi Ghoul King, but it just goes to middle of nowhere. Doom Diver is going to aim for that unit, and he hits them direct hit and only takes out 1. Close combat, we're going to go ahead and do the Armor of Gork again, and the Armor of Gork just killed off 4 guys right off the first move. I love that Armor of Gork, it is so beastly. And then between the Savages and the Orc boss, we basically kill off a good chunk. We kill off probably 10, 12, 13 of them. I don't remember the specific number because it is like a clusterfuck right now in this picture. They only kill 3 Savages back, which is great for me. And between combat resolution and just what's happened, that unit just got wiped out. I mean, there was no survivors. The combat resolution was probably 19 to 4 or something like that. So we're going to go over here to the Cave Squigs. The Cave Squigs just dismantled the Terrorgeist. He only had 2 wounds remaining, and they just ate him up. And they're going to go ahead and get an overrun, and they move slightly forward towards the General and his skeleton crew there. And let's go into Undead Turn 3. Alright, Undead Turn 3, we're going to have the Zombies are going to declare a charge right off the first move. And they run into that Fanatic, and the Fanatic kills off 7 zombies. That's what they get. And the Skeletons are going to go ahead and charge into the Cave Squigs. And the Black Knights are actually they reform to face off their attackers. Magic Phase, he gets 5 dice. Again, another pathetic 5. He uses it for Invocation on the ghouls here. He gets 3 ghouls. And that was about it for his magic. I think I shut down the rest of the spells he did. His Strigoi Ghoul King decides to shout at my Orc boss on the Wyvern and kills him. That is some cheap shit. Anyways, and then we're going to go into close combat. Close combat right here. Those Cave Squigs were hungry. They ate a shit ton of the Skeletons. About 15 of them or so. And the Skeletons attack back, and they kill off 5 Squigs. And then the boss kills off another 3 or so, or vice versa. The boss killed off 5, and then the Skeletons kill off 3. And he lost combat resolution by 1. Just 1. So he loses 1 more guy. Over here, the Night Goblins only killed off 2 zombies, and I don't think the zombies killed anybody off. And we're going to go into Orcs and Goblins turn 3. This guy, the Fanatic, he's just swinging around the background. He decides to run right into my own unit of short bows, and he kills off 2 out of the 3 that he hit. Gatilla and the boys decide to take advantage of this and charge into the Black Knights. And then my Lone Wolf, he's going to go ahead and charge into the side flank of the Skeletons that are in fighting with the Cave Squigs. So Gatilla and the boys, they're successful on their charge in. And then the Lone Wolf is successful on his charge in. Right here's my biggest mistake. My Black Orcs are not in combat, and they are actually blocked by my own guys. So I'm trying to shuffle them around to get around the unit of Night Goblins here. The Savages go ahead and wheel around, and they're going to go try to fit in between this crack to go for the ghouls. And that was it for that. We're going to go into Magic Phase, and I forgot what the power dice were, but I used all my dice on the Foot of Gork, and I only get 17 out of. I needed 18, and I got a 17. Oh my god, that sucked. Um, Shooting phase. Rock lava goes ahead and tries to shoot, and it fails and blows. It just cannot shoot for this turn, but it'll shoot normally next turn. My Doom Diver is going to aim for the ghouls, and he goes 6 inches off, but he comes back 5 inches and he hits them directly and kills off 4 ghouls. And then the Night Goblins here, they're going to go ahead and, I don't know why I have a 2 there, but they have a 2 there. Anyways, they can't shoot at anybody because, oh, I think they picked off 2 more ghouls is what it is. The Night Goblins over here with the spears are going to go into close combat. They go ahead and kill off 5 zombies, and the zombies kill off 3 Night Goblins. I win combat resolution, and I take out a few more. Gatilla and the boys, they kill off 2 Black Knights, but the Black Knights kill off 2 boys. And the Lone Wolf, he goes in a heroic act. He gets challenged by Vlad, which this is a huge mismatch. My Lone Wolf's only a hero. He has a great weapon. He's going last against Vlad, who has like 7 attacks. But what Vlad does not know is I gave that Lone Wolf the Armor of Destiny. So he actually evaded a lot. He only took 1 wound. And not only that, but he does 1 wound back to Vlad. I was like, holy shit, he actually stood his ground on Vlad. And unfortunately, Vlad gets the hunger, and he takes the wound back off. The Cave Squigs kill off 5 skeletons, and skeletons kill off, well, I think there's actually a White King in that, or the Wraith, or whatever it is. And they kill off a good 6 Cave Squigs. And I believe it was a stalemate. If not a stalemate, I'm pretty sure I didn't lose the combat resolution. But anyways, we're going to go into Undead Turn 4. First off, he's going to go ahead and declare a charge with his ghouls onto my savages, and he connects. And not only does he connect, but those rocks are in the way, so what ends up happening is I have to close the door for him and bring my guys through that wall. Then he goes and gets 5 power dice for his magic phase, and he goes ahead and summons up 3 ghouls back, which is nothing. He goes into shooting phase, and he screams at my savages and kills off 2 savages, and then into close combat, my Night Goblins just destroyed his zombies. They killed so many zombies. Zombies only killed 1 back, and they just kind of disintegrate and dissipate once that's over. Gatilla and the boys finish off the last Black Knight back here. And then his Strigoi Ghoul King challenges my savages, and my BSB declines and goes into the back. His Strigoi Ghoul King kills off 4 Savage Orcs, even with the 5-up ward save they have. And the rest of his guys kill off 2 more savages, and my savages kill off a good 6 or 7 of them, and he actually wins the combat resolution, but I do not run because my guys stay there with the BSB. As for Lone Wolf and Vlad, guess what? It's a draw. They didn't do anything to each other this round, which is great. And we're going to go into Orcs and Goblins, turn 4. I'm going to go ahead and declare a charge with my Night Goblins into the side flank of the ghouls, and they run into the Fanatic. I also charge in the Night Goblins with the spears into the side of the ghouls so I could free up the Black Orcs. Finally happened in close combat. Vlad finally killed my Lone Wolf. It was bound to happen. I challenged one of my Night Goblins to the ghouls, and the ghoul actually, the ghast responds instead of the Ghoul King, which I was trying to just bait out the Ghoul King so he could kill a random Night Goblin captain. Anyways, so the rest of the ghouls and the Ghoul King decide to kill off my a good chunk of savages, about 8 or 9 savages right there, and this one ghoul kills off 1 more Night Goblin on the side flank. All the hits back from my savages, from the Night Goblins and all that, they killed off a good chunk, like maybe like 10 or more ghouls, but overall, I mean, I took way too many casualties. Right here you could see, I believe he might be at 9, I might be at 14. So I won by a little bit, and I actually killed off a couple more of his ghouls. But I'm already losing way too many numbers at this point. Undead Turn 5. He decides to actually throw out his Necromancer out of that unit with Vlad. And I think it's just so he can get this Invocation off right here. He gets off Invocation on his magic phase. Brings back a good chunk of, I think 8 or 9 skeletons. And I'm sorry the pictures are a little bit more sporadic here. The phases are going a little bit faster here. There was nobody to shoot at in the shooting phase usually because on my turn because they were tied up in combat. Over here, this is his shooting phase. His Ghoul King shoots off 3 of my savages. and yeah, he's a bastard. And then we go into close combat, and in close combat, he challenges my Orc Shaman, and my Orc Shaman declines and hides behind the last rank of Savage Orcs. And at the end, right there, he basically cleared off the rest of my savages with, except for the one who's holding the banner. And then he actually killed off my BSB too. He allocated the points. Yeah, it's getting pretty nasty here. And I'm pretty sure I still won combat. I had, banner ranks and stuff like that, but it's still getting pretty nasty over on that side. We're going to go into Orcs and Goblins turn 5. And right here, I'm going to go ahead and try to... I call a charge out with Gatilla and the boys. They're going to go and charge at the unit way up there with Vlad. And not only that, I'm going to charge with my Black Orcs, and my Black Orcs actually fail. They don't go far enough, and Gatilla actually does, so that kind of sucks. So I go for a Hail Mary here, and it actually works. I go for Here We Go first with 6 dice, hoping to get the double 6s, and guess what? I got double 6s. So I get the explosion where it gives me the huge template, and it hits everybody under that circle. And I kill, of course, my Orc. He gets sucked into the void. But I actually kill off, I think 6 or 7 ghouls. It was, beautiful. But I have no more magic users, which is really shitty in the fact that he has so many more spells to do. Now, my Rock Lobber and my Dune Diver actually have one target, finally, which is that one lone Necromancer, and they both aim at him, and he's dead. Yeah, I don't even have to explain how dead he is. He's dead. The Ghoul King in close combat makes way to go for my Night Goblins, and he just tears them a new asshole. And then obviously the Ghouls here, they finish off the single Orc that's left. Between the Ghoul King and that one Ghoul, they kill off 3 more Goblins here. And combat resolution, look at that, 4 and 4. I do think he gets a combat reform though if he passes leadership test. And then Vlad challenges Gatilla, and Gatilla says, nah, one of the Howlers could do this. So the Howler goes out there and he gets his ass spanked. I mean, no contest against Vlad, obviously. And then Vlad's bus basically chases my wolves away. My wolves decide to run way past behind the Black Orcs. Black Orcs don't care. Grimgor doesn't care. And it's Undead Turn 6, and this is basically close to the end of the game. We actually decided that between Grimgor's unit and the Strigoi King and Vlad, that he has more points on the board still. I mean, of course I have War Machines and some other stuff, but he actually has more points. So the one thing he needed to do was kill off this Night Goblin unit, which he reformed, and sure enough, he killed off the whole Night Goblin unit and made them flee, and they got caught and died. But then the other thing he did is right here. This is the game-winning move. He took out his ethereal unit and put it right in front of that unit of Vlad and the boys, because even if the Black Orcs charge in and they have to fight him, they can't hit him, or Grimgor could hit him, but it doesn't matter because then I have to overrun and do all that jazz, and that's already at turn 6, and it's the end of the game, and I'm not killing out that whole unit. So basically he did that on purpose so he could try to put a block on the whole game and win it by points. And sure enough, it won. It won him the game. I couldn't do anything about it. And sure enough, that's that. It was a really fun game. It was a nail biter. I mean, there's times where it looked like I was way in the lead, and there looks like times that he's way in the lead. And overall, by points, it really wasn't that much of a difference. I think he had maybe 400 points or less to beat me by. I think it's even less than that. It may have been 200 or 300. But anyways, it's a fun game. We have another one. We did 3,000 points. The game's a lot shorter though because we ran out of time before the store closed. But I'll be putting that one up sometime this week or next week. In the meantime, guys, if you guys like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And I will be putting up new videos very soon. Adepticon's coming up in 10 more days, and I gotta paint up some more savages. Alright, guys, take care, and see you in the next video. Peace.